to another Off the Lips. Today we have Robin from Germany, and we're super excited because Robin is going to tell us how we can make a lot of money doing very little.
Of course.
From Amazon. No, we're really excited about Robin because, as we all know, working in Jeffreys Bay, it's sometimes quite hard to make money if your market is Jeffreys Bay. And so the possibility of doing something in Jeffreys Bay where your market is the world, as Robin does, is something that everyone is very curious about. Also, we've recently learned that Amazon is coming to South Africa. And as it happens, Robin sells things on Amazon. So, cool. Super excited to hear from you today. Robin from Germany, over to you.
Yes, so thanks for the introduction. As I said, I'm starting with how to sell things on Amazon, which nobody thinks are sellable. Because all the products are a little bit random, I would say. So, first to me, I'm 26 years old. I do this since 4 years now, and since around 2 years, I'm doing this digital nomad lifestyle of traveling around and somehow earning money with selling stuff. So my journey is basically first I started in Germany, so in also a really small local market again, with gardening and landscaping, so doing terraces and stuff like this. Also for getting the money basically to start with Amazon. And besides this, I studied computer science and business, half thing, 1 degree. And I watched a YouTube video on how to get rich with Amazon FBA. So, and here we are today, 4 years later. My story from zero to hero. Basically for the first 2 years, I just invested money always in the business. As I said, I earned it with gardening, landscaping, and just put everything back in because biggest problem with Amazon FBA is the cash flow. You need the cash in the business to get more money. That's why I also didn't take out any money until the beginning of this year, basically. And now I always do 20% or something like this, or maybe a little bit less of 20% of the profits to take it out, so that I still have 80% to grow. To grow the business, because just with more money in the business, you can make more money. Simple as that with this. So what do I sell? I sell cargo security products. What is this? That's the reaction I always get. Nobody understands what I'm selling. It's basically this kind of things, it's different trailer nets. So in either it's elastic or it's not elastic, or it's fine mesh, or it's a box for your trailer, or it's some hooks for your trailer with the net, or some ropes or other hooks. So that's the things I'm selling right now. And also 2 more products are coming this month, tie down straps and hydraulic check. So super specific products, I would say. That's why now of course the question why do I sell these products? Because they are so random. Basically because of data. It's super easy with Amazon to see how much somebody is selling. That's the big advantage of Amazon. It's really a glass door to see okay, this one sells 1,000 times a month. So I want to show you 2 other random products. And heater bleeder. What is this? This is basically to open a little bit of your heater to get some water out, and with this also some air bubbles, so that your heater is more efficient again. In Germany, that's a thing. Everywhere else, probably not so much. I just want to show you the data of it. So there was one too much. If you go on Amazon, okay, that's super small, but there we see all the different products and how much do they actually do in revenue, how often do they sell, and the first 3 are doing over 30,000 in revenue a month, in euros, so 600,000 rand around. And the others also go down to 10,000 something. So that's number 3. To show it more specific, we see it's 9,000 pieces per for the last 30 days. So it means 35,000, so 700,000 rands per month. Just this one product, which is a quite random product, as you see. Yes. So the next product is a curtain hook. So it's also for curtains, basically, just a hook at the top. That's all. And also this one, if you look into it, the data on Amazon.de, of course, the first one is selling quite good with 30,000 euros in revenue, so 600,000 rands. And the other ones go quite low, this one is 10,000, 9,000, and so on. So here again, this is the product, this is the data. So now, after we see like all these flashy big numbers of revenue, just nearby, not profit, revenue, how can we get rich with Amazon FBA now? So the thing is, how hard is it? Really is like back then it was actually it was much easier. So all these people who started already like 10 years ago, who just came from eBay and then started to also sell the same products with like super simple pictures, just like if you do a picture with your iPhone, it was already like really good and you could definitely be like the top seller. So back then it was really easy to rank. Now more and more competition is cutting in, so that's why it is much harder. So actually that's also, you're running out of time. Now it's actually like this, that you have to spend a lot of money on pictures itself, because that's like one of the most important things, is like just to have the conversion rate high, also the click-through rate of course, and just that people really buy your product directly. But besides this, your product actually have to be good as well, because if you get bad reviews, it's over. Also, the advertising have to be good, so enough people have to come to your listing. And of course, in the end, you also need somebody who does good support. So in 24 hours, you always have to answer them. And also, if you get a bad review, the best is always refund the product, send them a free one as well, and just say like, you customer, you are amazing, just don't give us a bad review. And hope that stays like that. Yes. And then of course there are a bunch of little hacks what you can do, like for example, it's super common to do some deals, because also Amazon itself prefers it, but also the customers really like to click on deals. If there is like a price which was higher and now it's lower, that's amazing. Doesn't matter where it is actually. Also, if you have external traffic for Amazon, it's like the thing. So if you get somebody from other websites to Amazon, super important, the algorithms will rank you higher. And besides this, of course, you try to get higher click-through rates through like different batches, or which are from Amazon itself, or you split test the title pictures to see like really, okay, which is the best picture, so that you sell the most and have the highest click-through rate. Yes, now I'm going like step by step how it's still done with like Amazon FBA. In the end, like first of all, of course, you search for the product that I just showed you before, like you see which one is selling good and have low competition. Mostly low competition you see by review count, so how much reviews do they have already, how good are the reviews, also how much, like how good are the pictures. Like the two others I showed you, like especially the second one, the picture was quite ugly, I would say. This one you can definitely do better. But also on especially this kind of products, it's super hard to differentiate, because it's like a super simple product. What can you do different with a curtain hook? I mean, it's a curtain hook. If you do like more difficult products, for example, like let's say like standing desk or whatever, then of course you have much more possibilities to differentiate. So that's also then much better to then sell more in future, of course. However, first the product research, low competition, high volume. Then we try to find a supplier and also try to improve the product, because that's just how we, over the time, really be like profitable and like selling a lot. Takes another 2 to 8 weeks. And then of course finally you place your order, and from placing the order until you really have it in your warehouse takes 12 to 22 weeks. It super depends on what is the product, because production normally takes 1 to 3 months. And then also shipping takes like 1 to 2 months, I would say. Yeah. And in between you do like compliance a little bit for the products, because right now it's more and more the thing that you get in more difficult products, for example electronic products, at least with the EU. I don't know the laws in South Africa, but in the EU you have to have a lot of certificates if you do electronic products. Also, for example, this hydraulic check, what I said before, you also need a bunch of certificates there. But the harder it is to get in, the better it is in the long run normally. Yeah. After finally you're having your product there, obviously you need nice pictures, which I showed before. Is also right now, if you really want like good pictures, you pay like a lot, like 3,000 euros or like 60,000 rand just for pictures, 7 pictures. That's what you get. But that's how it is. And then they look like really much better. Like for example, me personally, I always did it before, like with like some Pakistani people who did like the video photo editing, and like some friends who did like who studied like design and do like the pictures. But these are definitely cheaper than I get like for 1,000 euros or something like this. But if you have really like a high competitive product, you need to invest these 3,000 euros to get like something. So yes, continuing. Then of course the listing. as soon as you have the listing, you start selling. Here, now you really focus on like advertising, on customer support, getting the reviews. There's of course different strategies to get reviews. I mean, you could simply say like asking a friend. Actually, that's a problem after a while. I would say for the first 1 or 3 products, it works. But at some point, number one, you run out of friends. But also number 2 is it's just really bad for Amazon. If they get you that you do like some shady reviews and stuff like this, they block you completely and then you're completely out. And you also have all your stock and stuff like this still there. Amazon would not care. But I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, if you try to trick the system, it's not good. So that's a thing. And then, yeah, after like you sell like for 1 to 3 months, normally then you really sell good, and then you can let it run basically. I mean, still you have to do like customer support and stuff like this, but overall the most work is done and it's more or less passive, I would say. Yes. So now the question is, how much can I actually make out of it? There's also the big problem is basically the invest upfront. That's why, first I want to talk about profit margins, that's true. As I already said like at a few occasions, like the better your product, of course, the better also will be your profit margin, because you can ask for a higher price, so you can also have in the end more money, but profit margins are between 5 and 25%. So these 2 products, what I showed you at the beginning, for example, they will probably be more like low profit margins, so probably like, let's say 10% or something like this. 5% is like really low, I would say, but 10% is like, everybody reaches like 10%, but also like I mean, I have like quite a few friends who do the same thing, and I would say overall it's more likely to end up between 10 and 15% overall than being higher or being lower. Like that's like the main spot. But there are definitely some people who even do like over 25%, but they have like super crazy market position. Like they really somehow, I don't know how they got in there, but like they even sell like higher than super famous brands and stuff like this, and still sell a lot of it. So that's the thing. It definitely can work, but I would say 10 to 15%, that's the thing. So if you see 30,000 euros in revenue, that's probably means like 3 to 4.5 in profit for this product. So now to break it down a little bit more in terms of what is the big problem with the business model is actually the cash flow, as I said. Like, so the money you have inside. Let's say you have your first order and you did everything, and now you have already your product. Now you do like 20,000 euros a month in revenue, so means like 400,000 rand. That means in the end you do like, let's say 15%, so 3,000 euros in profit, so 60,000 rand with one product. That's amazing. But for this, you of course, the selling price for this product, let's say is 20 euros. So you bought, like you sell 1,000 pieces per month, of course. That means like probably for a product which costs 20 euros, you have cost of goods sold of around 4 euros. So cost of goods sold is just like production cost plus shipping to the warehouse, and from there on shipping it out. So for these 4 euros, of course, you burn every month like this 1,000 units, and at the beginning you should have buy at least 4 months of stock. So means like 4,000 units you bought, means like you spent 16,000 euros or 320,000 rand just on this one stock. But it doesn't stop there. The problem is now I'm selling, but I should already, like after 2 weeks or something, I should decide, okay, do I buy more or do I not buy more? Just to know like, hey, does it work or does it not work? And if it works, you should buy more, but you don't have money anymore. So that's the problem. So of course the 16,000, if you start with something like this, should not be your whole budget. The whole budget should be more like 25 or something. So you can make at least a prepayment for the next delivery already. Yeah, I mean, also, I say it here, obviously you get the 3,000 euros and also the 4,000 euros for the products back in a month. But I mean, in a month is too late. Like, you should have a little more money before. So, yeah, it's the big problem is basically the cash flow. Yes, just to make it more like as a conclusion again, if you start with 10,000 euros or 200,000, probably you can expect like 1,000 euros in profit or like 20,000 ZAR in profit a month. If you go like higher, of course, then you can just earn more, obviously. But anyways, even if you did all these profits, let's say you start with 50,000, do like 5,000 in profit. you don't have these 5,000 in profit to spend, as I said, you should actually save at least 80% of them because otherwise the business is not growing. Because now, of course, in the next month you have 54, next month you have like 58 and so on, and then actually it grows and then it makes sense. And it's always like basically pushing everything to the future when it actually is like nice. But yeah, that's how it is with this business model. But now after this, like, yeah, how do we actually get rich with that? Is basically that's the thing. Like, I would say out of the cash flow, out of the profits is difficult, not impossible, because there are definitely people who, after a while, of course, then it also, like, if you just have a big enough wheel and big enough money, much enough money inside, of course, then you can also make good profits. But anyways, even though the big money actually comes with the selling of the business. So the nice thing is actually when you, let's say you build everything up, you have now like 100,000 1 million euros in revenue a year, means like around like 150 in profit, 150,000 in profit a year, means probably you have like cash around like in stock, bounded of like 200,000. This whole thing you can sell. Like people want to buy this because it's like, as I said, it's quite passive. Once it's set up, it's actually quite okay. So people want to buy it, and this one normally you probably can sell around like 3 times the yearly profits. So this one you would probably sell like for 3 times the 150,000, so like 450,000 plus the 200,000 of stock, so 650,000 in one go, which is like 12 million or something. Yes, 12 million rand or something. That would be, of course, like a nice amount of money, and that would actually be in your bank account at some point. And then, of course, the taxes still come. But that's on this. And the nice thing is actually the longer you do it, the higher the multiple gets. So if you actually get up to the point where you, let's say you do like 6 million in revenue or something like this a year, and means like you do like 1 million in profit a year, then you actually don't get like a 3 times multiple, then you get more like a 5 times multiple, because then it also gets interesting for private equity. So then you actually get like more like in total probably like 6 million or something. So that's the thing, like it always gets more interesting the longer you do it. And obviously the starting point, the more money you have, the better it is. So yeah, that's as a conclusion. How to start it is basically, as I said, if you have something to get some money besides, so how also I did it, like with the gardening and landscaping, I was actually earning quite good, I would say. That's why also like I could invest all the money and still could study and have like a life. Yeah, you need some form of money in terms of freelancing or agency, or you could also do, of course, like some drop shipping. I mean, I never did it, so I don't know like where they're the pitfalls, but at least from cash flow side, of course, it's more interesting. So that you have the starting capital, and then, of course, if you are, sorry for that. Another thing is also, it definitely makes sense to see trends coming, like what is happening right now, because that's the thing, like as I said, like 5 or 10 years ago on Amazon, to be honest, it was much easier. At least you could save this 3,000 euros on pictures. There was actually 10 years ago there was no advertising on Amazon. You didn't spend any money on that, and that's also like right now, of course, taking off your margin, and back then the margins were also higher in total. However, that's why we also look, of course, on like other business models, other opportunities, what is out there right now. I don't know super much about it, but here in South Africa, I think Takealot is a thing. Also, Amazon just starts right now, like in the next year. So obviously, that's always like some opportunities. At the beginning, you always have the opportunity to make some arbitrage thing, I would say, like to really get easier money out at the beginning. Also, right now in US, apparently TikTok Shop is starting, and what I hear, like from at least like from some podcasts, is also, I'm not in the business, is like looks like there's super much attention, at least on the on all the listings, and therefore also like super much people, and quite a lot of people buy it. So that's also like definitely a thing which could be interesting, and obviously something with AI for sure is good. So I also just wanted to put it in. So definitely at the beginning, I would say Amazon FBA itself is not super easy, just if you're really at the beginning. But if you would still come in now, there's still a possibility to do it. Definitely you should start with at least 10,000 euros or like 200,000 rand. Because everything below then is like getting really difficult, because then your wheel is smaller, and you always, for every turn, how much you get out of it is just too less. and with the big opportunity, like hopefully you have the opportunity to get more money out. So you put this 10,000 first in, and then hopefully as soon as you see it works, then you should have the option to go to a bank or something, get a loan, and then of course you can do it. That's definitely working. For example, all these aggregators, I don't know if you saw, like there was like a super much big businesses who bought like smaller FBA businesses, so Amazon businesses, and they basically did this. They mostly got like super much money from the bank, because also they get like a little bit better interest rates and stuff like this, and that's why they bought it also. But also with like the other effect of the bigger you are, the higher the multiple is also, that's why. But however, first we need the 10,000 euros, then we need potentially more other money, and then there's also some other strategies, at least for the beginning, to start with, for example, really small products, because that's again the products what I showed you at the beginning, is like they are super small, means like the cost of goods sold will be super small as well, and the most part of the cost which you have with this product is probably more like the shipping cost and stuff like this. So the shipping cost from the Amazon warehouse to the customer itself. So your upfront cost is less, but the return on investment in total is higher, but actually the margins are a bit lower. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's the thing. Like return on investment on small products is higher. That's why you should, if you start with small products, actually make sense. But the bad thing, what I said also before, the differentiation is definitely lower because you can improve much less on the products itself. Yes. Then I would say, actually, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Robin. I have so many questions. I'm going to hold myself back and open it up to the floor.
Like I personally have like Amazon is like 90% of it. Then I would say like 8% for me is eBay, and like the rest 2% is Shopify. But now I just started with Shopify, so there of course theoretically the potential is much higher, because you can market like everywhere around the world with like Facebook, TikTok, whatever. But I didn't start like the whole process now. So yeah, that slowly takes time.
So you pay Amazon for the advertising?
Yes.
Push your ads?
Yes. That's all the Amazon advertising.
Okay.
Yes.
And then do you have your own online shop for your own business that sells as well?
Yes.
You also list those products on Amazon?
Yes. In Europe. So, but the biggest market is Germany by far. But also France is quite okay. Italy, Spain is a little bit. Italy, Spain, Belgium, and then it gets like really small, like Netherlands and. I mean, number one, as you said already, like keywords is of course a thing, like definitely, because like yeah, you basically the places for keywords you have is like the description, the like down there somewhere, bullet points are also down there, and the title is by far the most like for ranking and indexation is like the most important, and then the other ones get like less important. So the most important keyword should be in the top, but I mean now it's slowly also getting the change to get more to like more like nice titles to click in instead of having the keywords, because of course that looks super ugly, and for like click-through rate and stuff like this, it is actually, of course, can be better to have like a short title, but yeah. I mean, in total, I would say you always try to. I mean, number one, of course, the first picture is you always have to see separate, because there's a lot of guidelines from Amazon. Like it always have to be on like a white background. Of course, there's like people playing around with. So as you see, like I mean, you try to include like some other stuff, like this is the other side of it, or like the TK thing is probably like looks like a label attached to it or something like this. So you always have to play a little bit with Amazon there, because. Yeah, Amazon blocks it if there's too much other things inside. But for all the other pictures, they are normally just trying to communicate one USP or one product point of it, and also of course like communicating like trust and stuff like this. It just have to look super nice, and if it looks super nice, if it really answers all the question, then the person is normally buying.
Oh, that's amazing! What a difference pictures can make. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not on Amazon itself. And the good thing about, like, for example, this product is too big for Amazon to sell. Like, or I could actually sell it with Amazon FBA directly. But the problem is Amazon FBA is super cheap for small products. So, for example, this product I could not sell cheaper anywhere with like any other fulfillment center, but this one is actually much cheaper if I sell it with another fulfillment center, so I'm doing it with the other fulfillment center. Another positive thing is, of course, if I use the fulfillment by Amazon, the conversion rate will also be quite higher because there's the Prime badge and people know like, okay, it comes directly in one day and they can send it back super easy. Like, they can still send it back super easy, but it's like always a third-party logistics warehouse basically. So I have like one warehouse for the eBay and for this like different like different products. And the Amazon warehouse, of course, is also there. And yeah. But you mean like buying on Amazon services? I think they started with something like that. But to be honest, like I never really went into like the service side of Amazon because like also like since I just sell products. So. For me, all the suppliers are in China, and I would say for 97% of all the products, they are in China. Not necessarily. Like mostly, actually, I deliver it somewhere else because Amazon warehouse, the storage cost is super high. So compared to my other warehouse, it's like 8 times higher, the storage cost. So I try to always have like as less as possible at Amazon, and the most stuff is like in the other warehouse. I mean, yes, but also like to deliver to the customer itself is actually for small products is even cheaper with Amazon, and as I said, the conversion rate is higher. So if it makes from the cost perspective, it makes sense to put it to Amazon, then you should always put it to Amazon in this case.
Like
because
smaller products,
yeah,
they take a lot of the space and they won't charge you that.
Yeah, then it's much cheaper. If you have super big products, then it's more expensive.
Okay, and you organize your own courier service. You get on the best courier service and they fetch from Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a service provider for that. I don't do it by myself. Like, yeah, there's like a warehouse and they do the send outs and stuff like this. They are connected to the API with like eBay, Amazon, and Shopify. And every time they get an order for them, they get it in, send it out. That's it. So. That's my brand. I mean, it's an Amazon brand, so obviously brand is always like, but yeah, it's my brand basically.
Okay, so,
yeah.
And then the suppliers print all the...
Yeah, I mean I just have to also like for example like this marked corner things and stuff like this. That's like basically that was like my differentiation to say like okay, what we make different with the product with the trailer net is like mark the corners. So I tell the supplier, of course, please do this and that, and also like for example here. I think it's not super easy to see right now, but they are like different. That thing is basically like because it's a big box for your trailer where you put in like different tie belts or like nets or whatever. So there's like different partitions for it. So dividers of the whole box basically, and you can just put it out or in if you need it. Put it to the side. Yeah, that's the sense of it. Yes. I send 100 products in one big carton to Amazon, and Amazon, as soon as the order comes, sends out one product to a customer, once a time. I don't have a warehousing by myself, it's all service providers, yes. I mean, for my own service providers, they're all in Germany. Amazon itself also stores in Poland and Czech. Therefore, I need like some tax numbers. But for like making it easier, like making it cheaper, because Poland and Czech is cheaper than Germany, they are also there. Yes, I mean then you have like super much people. Then you have like to organize all the warehousing and stuff like this. And yeah, I think selling is enough of a Yes, like now I have 4 different suppliers in total. Yes, or sends it to, or this warehouse sends it to Amazon in like a big bulk, always. Yeah, like for the big one and for the eBay sales. I mean, also at the beginning, of course, if you search your suppliers, you have like a big list of suppliers, also with the cost, then you get samples. But also for, depending on the product, also you get always like a quality inspection. Like just right before shipping, it's not so expensive, cost like 200 euros, so 4,000 rands. They check 10 to 20% of it, make like super detailed, okay, this one is a little bit dirty, this one is a little bit wrong, this one is whatever. Check everything and say like, okay, it's good or it's not good. And then you say like to your supplier, does he get money or not? Or you also don't get the products then, of course, but yeah. No, so far no. Like I just sell my own brand on my own store. But as I said, also like the store there was no focus on until now, so yeah. For me personally, because I also said like I can actually share like the numbers if it's not online on YouTube. To be honest now, like if I would do like a normal job with my degree and stuff like this, they would for sure not pay me nearly as much as I do now profits in. Yes, definitely. But also it takes a long time. So I would say, especially for the first 2-3 years, it's actually, or 2 years, it's not super much time. It was a lot of waiting involved, like for suppliers and stuff like this. Now it's also a lot of time, I would say. So it's super easy to start besides, I would say. But now it's definitely worth it, yes. I mean, I don't know, like 4 years ago or something, I did like a small road trip, and we also stayed like 2 days in J-Bay, and we thought like, I mean, now we said like, let's go 3 months again to South Africa. So we spent like 1 month in Cape Town, actually with like some other seller friends in like one big house, and then we said like, 1 month J-Bay, we can surf a little, what we didn't do until now, but it's a plan to start surfing again. And then
Thanks so much.
you're welcome.